Welcome to episode 3 of the Spooky Skeletons podcast. That's a scary sound.
Yep.
Today we're talking about the Conjuring films. Damn it. You don't like this.
I don't like this at all.
You're
I
scared of
haven't
ghosts.
seen any of them because
Yeah.
I don't like this. Why am I here?
I honestly don't know. It's like the true story of the Conjuring. There's a hidden. That's what we're about on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's truth.
Yep.
And reconciliation. Halo. We're about the truth, and we're about stuff like that, kinda,
Yeah.
and also memes and funny stuff
Memes, funny stuff.
and food.
I like food.
I like food too.
Food's good.
Yeah, I like food. Today we're talking about the fucking Conjuring story, and we're gonna be talking about all the different stuff about that and stuff you probably didn't know as a viewer or a listener. If you're watching listening to the podcast, you can also watch it now too.
You can watch
Which is
it.
pretty weird, pretty cringe.
There are some who fear the unknown, and some who embrace it. What happens after you die? Do you cease to be, or is there something waiting for you on the other side? If there is something after death, do your actions in life truly determine the rest of your eternity? We may never know the answers to these questions, but it's undeniable that people will always try to find the answers.
What do you think happens when you die? I like to relate it to what happens to a fart after it leaves your anus.
What happens?
Just becomes one with nature.
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah. Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, you become one with the great beyond.
Yeah.
Your fart just becomes part of the atmosphere.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, don't get too close behind it. Fart joke.
Some individuals claim to be able to pierce the veil between the known and the unknown. Ed and Lorraine Warren, being two of the most renowned paranormal investigators, have attempted to bring these answers to the world, which some believe and others call a hoax. They have investigated many paranormal phenomena, but we're going to talk about perhaps their most infamous investigations. The hauntings of the Perrins, the Hodgsons, and Arnie Johnson.
Arn. If you put a B in front of that, it looks like barn. Barney. Fuck Barney.
Ed is renowned.
Yeah, Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Ed and Lorraine. I ain't never heard of them.
Do you remember Insidious? You know the main guy, the main character?
I always confuse Sinister and Insidious.
Sinister's the one with Bagul.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't bring that
I really don't
name.
like that one.
Yeah, don't bring that name.
Really don't like that one.
Insidious is the one with the dude with the red face.
The kid.
And tiptoe through the tulips by the window. And the little kid runs around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the little kid gets trapped.
I'm with it. Yeah.
The main guy, the guy who has the demon latch onto him, that's the same actor who plays Ed in the Conjuring series.
Okay.
He's a great powerhouse of an actor.
I see.
This is the true story of the Conjuring trilogy. The Conjuring films are all based on true stories of hauntings in England and America. While some details are altered or fabricated to make entertaining cinema, it may shock you just how many of the events portrayed are based on actual events from real-world haunts.
So it's real, it's true!
100% real.
All of it. Every damn bit of it. You son of a bitch.
I haven't seen any of the movies, so I won't know like what the films kind of changed. Mm-hmm. But
they seem real. I mean, they don't. I mean, aside from the ghosts and the haunting and like just the general stuff that happens, it seems real.
I see.
If you took out the ghosts, it'd be real.
Isn't that what it's about?
Yeah. There's a part where they're in the basement and then a big fat woman comes up to him and goes right in their ear. Big ghost woman. She goes.
Just like next to their ear?
Well, she's she's in a crawl space and she has a lighter, and it's her only source of light.
Ghost lighter.
It's a real light.
It's a real lighter.
Yeah, she's a real woman.
Oh.
Yeah, she's in the crawl space looking for someone, and then this woman you see these hands come out of the darkness and go like that. Knocks out the light. It's pretty scary. Yeah, I don't like that. Today we're going to be diving into the true story and the details behind The Conjuring. All right?
I don't like where this is going.
It's like a quadruple take. And you're scared of this kind of stuff.
Oh.
Deathly afraid. You won't sleep for 3 or 4 nights after this.
If I was to watch these movies, it would stick with me for months.
Yeah, it's true.
Months.
It's true. I like. It's so true. It's funny. You won't be able to fall asleep nice without a good jerk session.
Exactly. Exactly. That just cleanses that post-nut clarity.
Nothing's scary after post-nut.
Yep.
In January 1971, the Perrin family moved into a beautiful, spacious farmhouse in Harrisville, Rhode Island.
RI is Rhode Island, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just making sure.
Right off the bat, I'm not scared of anything that happened before I was born.
Okay, that's fair. And also, I'm not scared of anything from Rhode Island.
True.
Because that's not even real.
That's
That's where fucking Family Guy's at.
That's fair.
Yeah. That's like saying Springfield from The Simpsons is real.
I mean, it's not real anyways, but where they say it is pretty far from here.
Right.
The 14 rooms offered plenty of space for the large family that was now occupying the home. The family consisting of Caroline, Roger, and their 5 daughters. Andrea, Christine, Nancy, Cynthia, and April were just like any other.
They literally got a book called White Girl Names and just chose the first fucking 5 names right out of it.
I'd tell you right now, Cynthia's the one that goes evil.
Demon? Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, Nancy. I mean, there's maybe a million Nancys born that day that live in Rhode Island.
Yes.
I don't even know if there's a million people in Rhode Island.
Well,
Million Nancys.
at least.
They would have breakfast in the morning, the parents would leave for their jobs and the kids their school. They'd come home, play, laugh, eat dinner, go to bed, repeat. As they settled in their new home, the new home would begin to settle in with them.
What the fuck does that mean?
What?
Is it living? It's like a living organism?
Maybe it's just one of them smart homes. 1971.
Yeah, 1971 smart home.
What they didn't know about this house was that it had a dark, disturbing history. A history that didn't want to be forgotten. Caroline would start noticing small things at first. The broom seemingly appearing out of place or gone in its entirety. An unexplainable scraping sound against the kettle. Dirt reappeared on the kitchen floor after it was cleaned.
That sounds like me and you were there.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
this all seems normal.
Yeah, like a little goblin.
Yeah. You can't
Just lives
find the
there.
broom?
All right. Somebody was using it and didn't
Somebody
put it back
else
'cause
used
they're
it.
lazy.
Yeah.
Like me or you.
I probably used the broom.
Yeah, same. Yeah, scraping sound against the kettle, that's just me dicking with shit.
Yeah.
Dirt on the kitchen floor, dirt on my feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is,
that seems-
yeah, Carolyn, get your panties out of the twist. All right, bitch.
She's just looking for something.
Yeah, she's trying
She
to,
wants there to be something in this house.
she's making a mountain out of a molehill,
Yep.
is what they call it. That's a saying.
That's a thing they say.
But with 5 daughters and a husband who, if he's anything like me, leaves messes behind sometimes, some of it could be easily dismissible.
We just said that.
Fair?
A broom gets used and be placed somewhere nearby that's out of the way. And with children that play outside, surely they tracked in something after the kitchen was just cleaned. Or perhaps there was another explanation for why these seemingly harmless things were happening.
Like what?
No. I
Trunk
think
monkey?
Yeah, it's the kids.
Yeah, the bastard
It's-
children,
it's-
yeah.
yeah.
What about a trunk monkey though? What do you think?
No, it's the kids.
Okay.
Then, activity began to increase and become more obvious. Apparitions and spirits would appear, some of which seemed peaceful, but others seemed more angry and malevolent. Roger would have a hard time believing his daughters, as children often have overactive imaginations. To Roger, it was simply brushed off as the fact that it was an old house, which is bound to make noises as it settles.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, you used to
I'm with
live in
Roger.
an ancient farmhouse,
Yeah.
and that thing makes some fucking noise.
Yeah.
Honestly, after we watched Sinister, you lived there and stuff. I was very surprised that you lived there.
Yeah?
Yeah. How many nights were you just scared?
Most. Most nights.
Did you ever just like look out the window at night?
No, God no. Fuck no. Are you kidding me? No. No. I would actively, like, if I didn't have like a blind over the window
Yeah.
and I would walk by, I would
Oh my god,
look down and away. So
that's really funny.
I don't want to know what's coming.
Yeah, dude, fuck that, right? Have you ever seen that Bigfoot movie where the Bigfoot woman looks out the window and she sees something off in the distance, and it's like you see like a Bigfoot running or like something running, and then she like looks off in the distance, and then she looks away, and then she looks back and it's a little bit closer, and then she looks back again, and it's right there in the window, and it goes, and she goes,
It's a Bigfoot?
yeah, like a Yahweh or something. Yowie.
That sounds like a movie I'd like. I like
Yeah.
Big Feet.
It's pretty scary though.
Is it?
It's
Never
pretty
mind.
terrifying. It scared the fucking shit out of me when I was a kid.
pass.
I tried finding it recently too, and I couldn't. Like a picture of it or something?
Carolyn would be quicker to listen to the grievances aired by her daughters and begin to search for answers as to why they were seeing and experiencing the things they were. The answers would disturb her. After Carolyn began to research the home, it was discovered that it had been in the possession of one family for 8 generations. This family who had passed down the home throughout the generations suffered many horrible deaths and tragedies.
Move.
Of course they did.
Move.
Of course they did.
If you start suffering horrible deaths, get the fuck out and move.
It's never like, oh, I researched the people who lived here before and nothing happened.
They had a
were
chocolate
fine.
factory.
Yeah.
And in the 1800s, they didn't own slaves.
Yes.
It's always horrible stuff.
Yeah.
Never, I mean, maybe in Rhode Island there wasn't, but, you know.
Didn't they like just take plantation out of their name?
They might have.
Not that long
Never
ago.
mind. We'll move away from that. Reshuffle my papers. Today's episode of the Spooky Skeletons podcast is brought to you by Green Chef. Do you not like going outside? Do you like eating good food? Do you enjoy cooking as a hobby? Or even not? Then Green Chef is for you. And you literally get $125 off, which is $125 of free food. Click the link in the description or go to greenchef.com/spook125 and use code spook125 to get $125 off your Green Chef meal kit. There's vegan options, keto options, vegetarian, literally free food, dude. And it supports the podcast. Pescatarian, I think that's where people only eat fish or something. It's nutritious. There's new recipes every week. I made 3 and I got it 2 days ago. I've made 3 in 2 days. The barbecue hamburgers were genuinely really good. I'm a very good cook and I was surprised by the recipe, to be honest. Everything is pre-portioned. All the recipes are easy to follow. Everything gets delivered right to you. It's generally healthy depending on which line of nutritional recipes you go for. Mine weren't that healthy. It's awesome. There's expert chefs that curate everything, and genuinely, guys, it is a good service. I love this meal kit service so much, okay? I sound so sarcastic whenever I'm doing ads. I'm sorry, but I really do. I genuinely do. Go to greenchef.com/spook125 and use code spook125 to literally get $125 off and free shipping. If you don't click it, you're not smart, all right?
Children would drown in the creek. One family member was even murdered. Several people even hung themselves in the attic.
Several?
Hold up.
Several?
Several people
Several, more
at
than
the
one.
same time?
I assumed like a big suicide orgy.
Yeah.
Or something. Big old. And then the creek, children drowning in the creek. I mean, that's pretty common. That happens. Kids are stupid.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, that's not deliberate.
That's the thing.
That's accidental.
Yeah.
That's
You
tragic.
put that on anything. So there was children drowned in the creek.
Murders.
There was murders.
Hangings in the attic.
Yeah. There's like, hey, you want to go hang ourselves up in the attic? Like,
Where's Danny at? He's up in the attic.
see if he wants in.
Hanging out.
As a parent, hearing that children would mysteriously drown in the creek must have come as a shock and a worry to Carolyn. With all these deaths plaguing the home her family now lives in, how could anyone feel safe knowing there's such a disturbing and violent past? However, the violence wouldn't end there.
Of course not.
Or there wouldn't be a story.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a story if we already had dead children, a murder,
Yeah.
attic hanging. But wait, there's more.
Yeah. No candy factory. Probably a lot of slaves.
Baby slaves.
Yeah. At this point. I mean, truthfully, I'm not trying to be, it's a little societal criticism. All right.
A neighbor's child died under questionable circumstances, and evidence placed suspicion on a member of this family by the name of Bathsheba Sherman.
Bathsheba Sherman. That's not a fucking name for one. What the fuck? Bathsheba. That's the name of the
Bathsheba
demon.
did it?
That's Bagul's brother.
Yeah.
Fucking Bathsheba.
Bathsheba.
Though there was never a trial or an arrest made.
What?
Of course there was.
Why wasn't there?
Of course there was.
Why was Bathsheba not brought to justice?
Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. Let's go find Bathsheba and beat the fuck out of him.
I'm okay.
Activity became more frequent and intense as time passed. Beds would rise off the floor.
What? Wait, what? We just made a big jump.
Yeah. First Bathsheba, now levitating beds.
Yeah. The children's beds, just all of a sudden they just you
Yeah.
get put to bed and you walk in your room and it's like, oh shit, bed's 3 feet in the air.
Yeah, and it's not like a feature
Yeah.
of the bed. This isn't 2042.
Yeah.
This is fucking 1971. Beds couldn't rise on their by their own whim.
Smells of rotten meat and a quote, a cold, stinking presence.
That's
Now-
a quote, by the way.
That's a quote, and I mean that's like that happens here.
Yeah, I get that feeling whenever
Yeah.
my mother-in-law walks in the house. I don't have one of those, but I thought it'd be funny to just fucking trash my mother-in-law.
Good. That's good.
She doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Yeah.
Heating equipment would fail mysteriously and at random. When the heating would go out, Roger would have to go into the dirt-floored basement to make fixes or restart it. Carolyn and Roger would seek help, and would find it in the form of Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed, a World War II veteran, former police officer, and now a studied demonologist with the skill to identify spirits, and his wife, Lorraine, a medium and clairvoyant who would communicate with any demons or other spirits.
These people are lunatics.
Yeah.
Demonology? What's your major? Underwater basket weaving and fucking demonology.
Demonology.
That, you're bullshit.
What happened to him in World War II?
That's a good question. Where did he fight at?
Yeah.
The Battle of Bagul.
What was its name? Bethesda? What was Bethesda's
Bathsheba.
name? Bathsheba.
Bethesda.
They were the most widely renowned and respected of paranormal investigators. Of all the spirits that inhabited the home, the Warrens were able to identify Bathsheba as the worst of them.
Of course.
So Bathsheba is a spirit.
Bathsheba's a spirit.
That's terrifying. Bathsheba is like, no human's ever been named that.
No.
That's the name of like a dinosaur, maybe. A really scary one.
Yeah.
And also a fucking demon.
Bathsheba.
Bathsheba. No.
Bathsheba. Where's Bathsheba from? Who is Bathsheba? Where did this start?
Alta.
Okay.
Okay. That was a terrible joke.
Okay.
That was a terrible joke. Because it's got bath in the name, I figured.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was going to say Bed, Bath, and Beyond.
Yeah.
It would appear that Lorraine had an answer for why Bathsheba was behaving the way she was. You see, Bathsheba believed herself to be the mistress of the home, and the presence of Carolyn was seen as a threat to that title. Further research into the Bathsheba Sherman would reveal that she was potentially a Satanist from the 1800s.
Interesting. She's a jealous,
Interesting.
vindictive
Bathsheba is
bitch.
a standard woman.
Ooh. He said that. I didn't say that. Ooh, God.
Further research into the Bathsheba Sherman would reveal that she was potentially a Satanist from the 1800s and was buried in a Baptist cemetery in downtown Harrisville.
Of course, she was buried in a Baptist cemetery, and that does not sit well with Satanists.
No. Not
They're
at all.
stinky, and
No.
they're rude,
Yes.
and they will haunt you after the 1800s.
You're telling, I mean, she just happened to be a Satanist.
Yeah, Satanist.
You can't be a Satanist. I mean, you can't not be a Satanist and be named Bathsheba. You can't
That's
like
true,
come into this world. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to name my daughter Bathsheba and her grow up to be just
Normal.
yeah,
A functioning member of
Yes.
society.
Yeah.
She'll be a fucking demon in 100 years.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no Satanist named Daryl
No.
or Nancy.
Yeah.
Unless there are.
The Perrin family remained in the home for 10 years, being unable to move due to financial circumstances. And throughout that time, the Warrens would make trips out to investigate. On one such trip, a seance was performed in which Lorraine attempted to make contact with the spirits inhabiting the home. Carolyn, during the seance, became possessed. Her chair rose from the ground, and she began speaking in tongues with a voice not of her own.
Bathsheba?
Bathsheba, yeah.
Bathsheba's talking through her. She's using her to speak and be like, hey, bitch, this is my house.
Yeah.
I'm Bathsheba. This is
hot.
my home.
You get out of my fucking house. I'm from the 1800s. My name's Bathsheba.
My name's Bathsheba.
I'm from Blackwater, Louisiana. All right, motherfucker.
Andrea, one of the daughters who would sneak in, witnessed this seance and says she felt like she was going to lose consciousness. She saw her mother speaking in a voice and language not from this world before Carolyn's chair with her in it was thrown across the room.
So she was thrown across the room with the chair, and also so it was a language not from this world too, like an alien language.
Why would you have your kids there? I feel like
Learning experience.
don't have your children here when you're doing a seance. in your
Learning
home.
experience. Learning experience. This family sounds like a bunch of couple pieces of shits.
Piece of shit.
Piece of shits.
Piece of shits, yeah.
Piece of shits.
Piece of shits.
That's what they are.
However, this is where the film deviates from its true events. The reality is there was no exorcism as portrayed in the movie. Exorcisms must be performed by Catholic priests. What really happened is that the following of the seance, the Warrens were kicked out by Roger because he was worried for his wife's mental health. The Perron family was unable to leave until 1980 due to financial instability, but by that point, all activity had ceased. When these events were brought to Hollywood and put to film, Lorraine Warren consulted on the film to make sure it kept a grasp on the true events and didn't drift too far into the realm of fantasy and fiction. The Perron family supported the creation of the film, and their daughter Andrea Perron released a book in 2011 titled House of Darkness, House of Light.
Interesting. So it's a money grab.
Yeah,
Fake.
absolutely.
Fake, not real. Also, as soon as Ed and Lorraine stopped going, the haunting stopped.
Yeah.
There was no exorcism.
That's a bit...
That's sussy.
Yeah, that hesitation, I was trying to find a different word.
To say other than sussy.
Other than sussy, yes.
That's suspicious.
Yeah. So
That's a bit fucking weird.
Roger is like, hey, get out of my house. Don't come back. I fear for my wife's mental health. Mm-hmm. She was thrown across the room.
Yeah, the bitch was thrown across the room.
You think that was a fun ride? Sitting in a chair and it just go?
Draw us flying across the room. Do an animation. I'll make the sound. That's the hitting the wall.
In which she talks about the experiences she had in the house. As outspoken as Andrea is about her time, Christine has been the most reluctant, and very rarely does she speak about what happened.
Throughout the history of the home, she's very, very tight-lipped.
That's interesting.
As they'd say, yeah. Yeah. Very tight-lipped.
I wish we had ages.
Extremely tight lips.
For the... I get it. She had tight lip. She didn't want to talk about it. I wish we had ages for the children.
So we know how old they are now?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's anything like the movie, which it's supposed to be based on reality, whatever, they were like maybe 10. All of them kind of like 10 was like the middle child, I'd say. So probably like 50s, 40s. That's how old they'd be, I guess. Yeah, because 40 years since 1980. So yeah, at the very youngest, probably 45.
Yeah,
I'd say.
But what about the people that purchased the home after the Perron family had vacated? Towards the end of their time, their as mentioned prior activity had seemingly come to a halt. In an interview, Andrea has said, quote, "Everyone who has lived in the house that we know of has experienced this. Some have left screaming and running for their lives. The man who moved in to begin the restoration of the house when we sold it left screaming without his car, without his tools, and without his clothing."
What? He was naked.
He was naked?
Dude was buck naked, running out through the fucking woods.
Didn't take the time to get any clothes on. Mm-hmm. Didn't take time to grab his tools. I know man loves his tools.
A man loves his tools.
Okay.
A man loves his damn tools.
And just no car, no nothing, just ran off into the woods.
Buck naked's funny to me.
Buck naked.
That's funny.
That is funny.
It's pretty hilarious. Buck ass fucking just dick flopping. Just
what did he see?
True. Someone real tight-lipped.
Oh, I keep forgetting her name. What Bathsheba.
Bathsheba.
He saw Bathsheba. Bathsheba wanted some.
Yeah, he saw her tight lips.
He never went back to the house, and consequently, the people who owned it, the adjacent landowners, never moved in, and it sat vacant for years.
End quote from Andrea.
That's good.
Norma Sutcliffe, who lived in the house with her husband Gary, though fewer and not as extreme, did have activity in their time at the Perron home. A door in the front hall would bang. Footsteps would be followed by a door opening in another room. The sounds of people talking could be heard from the adjacent rooms, and Gary's chair would vibrate.
That's another feature. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking floating beds, vibrating chairs.
Yeah, he just had a massage chair.
Yeah, that guy just went to, that's what rich people have. Massage chairs?
Yeah.
That's what I thought when I was a kid. Yeah. I thought every rich person had a massage chair.
You know the ones at the mall?
Yeah.
Maybe he just has one of those. Put $1 in it. Get shook around for 30 seconds.
Stick $1 in that damn thing. Make you feel like a peachy shit. And Jerry's chair would vibrate, which just sounds like a good time to me.
Currently, the home is owned by and inhabited by Corey and Jennifer Heinzen. The couple are actually paranormal investigators and insist that the home is anything but peaceful. Corey has told the Sun Journal that they witnessed doors opening, footsteps, and knocking sounds as early as their first day in the living of the home.
Of course they did.
Yeah, those two love that house.
Yeah, of course
They're
they did.
living their dream there.
Yeah, dude. Living there.
And they
just-
are insane.
They're fucking nuts. That's like saying a bird watcher isn't going to see a bird.
Yeah.
You know, of fucking course. Even if a bird watcher ain't going to see a bird.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you about all the
gonna
birds
hear
he saw. He's going to hear one, and he's going to make mountains out of molehills.
Absolutely.
And then you see a fucking demon out the window, Bathsheba, tight lips, and you run naked out of that damn house. Fucking right down through the foyer.
So, I have a question.
Go ahead.
What does it take for a house you're just like, all right, nobody live here anymore because it's too scary?
Knock it down.
Yeah.
There was one, there was a haunted house that like they did rip down because it was like everyone was scared of it.
Good.
And it was like there were screams and stuff in it and stuff.
They shouldn't be pushed down. They should be burnt down.
Yeah, burnt and then salted
Yes.
like a herring.
Well, maybe salt because
then burn, right.
because when you burn, they're all gonna.
Yeah, treat that shit like fucking fish in the Great White North.
Exactly.
Salt and burn.
In the same interview, he stated that whatever was sharing their home with them, quote, it was playful at first, but then it started to become more sinister and more dark. Physical attacks, mysterious illnesses, end quote. They hosted events at the home and would rent rooms overnight to paranormal investigators that wished to try their hand at capturing evidence of paranormal activity on the premises. The home, which is a 3,100 square foot log cabin with 3 beds and 2 baths, was just put back on the market for $1.2 million.
That's a lot of fucking money.
That's so much money.
That's just how much
And, like-
haunted mansions cost.
It is like 14 rooms, isn't it?
Yeah. It's ugly as fuck in the movie. I'm not sure if that's the same house.
After the film was released, Norma Sutcliffe saw a huge surge in trespassers and people coming to view the home out of curiosity from its story. Sutcliffe would say in an interview, quote, "We haven't slept in days because we wake up at 2 a.m. There are people with flashlights in our yard," end quote. People would also call to harass them or to ask, quote, "Is this the Conjuring house?" She filed a lawsuit in 2015 against Warner Bros. And even spent months trying to disprove Andrea Perron's books and the movie. Andrea and Norma even had a conversation in which Norma claims that the minister who lived in the home with his wife never said they have experienced anything abnormal in the home. Lorraine Warren would later state that this is because he was a minister, would not reveal anything of the sort.
That's
Just gonna
true.
lie?
Yeah, I guess that would be like asking a liar to tell the truth. You know, tell me about demons, man who believes in God.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about the hole in my ass, doctor. That's not that good of an example.
No, that didn't make much. That just made me think of fart plug.
Yeah, fart plug. We got fart plugs in right now. Try to keep our butt silent during the shoot.
So the mystery of the Perron family home in Rhode Island remains today, waiting to share its history with the next family to take possession of the property.
100,000 likes, we'll buy it. We'll buy it and live there for a week. You're gonna hear me crying in the middle of the night. What you're gonna hear? You think they got good internet?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Nah, not in
There's
Rhode
no
Island.
way. No.
Not in Rhode Island. Rhode Island's a fucking shithole.
Throughout their tenure, the Warrens have investigated many hauntings with varying levels of activity and discovery, some of which we may talk about in the future episodes. Most notably, there is a spin-off trilogy of films based on the Annabelle doll, which they had locked in a case at their home.
It's in the movie. There's the dolls in the movie. It's all tied in. It's all big trilogy, big space drama.
I don't like that.
It's called Star Wars. Have you heard of it?
That's not scary. Them ain't scary.
Yoda's a piece of shit.
Pizza. Yup. Damn pizza shit.
Yeah, so that's the Conjuring one.
Yeah.
Right? And there's the second movie called The Conjuring 2, which is based on true events. Terrifying true story of.
You've seen all three?
I've seen all three of them. I love them. I think they're good. The first one's terrifying. The second one, whatever one's in Britain, is really fucking hard to like take seriously because it's British.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, a fucking ghost. I didn't even know they had ghosts. I didn't even know they had ghosts over there.
Yeah, that's a new thing.
Yeah.
That's the ghost started in 1776.
Yeah, woo! And it's gonna stay because It's in the Constitution. We allow them out here.
The Conjuring 2, based on the events that happened to the Hodgson family in their home in Enfield, England.
Enfield. What does that mean? I don't know why I even said that.
Yeah. What's special about
I
Enfield?
don't know.
Was also investigated by Ed and Lorraine Warren, only 6 years after Bathsheba terrorized the Perrin family.
So very short period of time after Bathsheba, she went on her clairvoyant walk of shame.
Yeah.
Her tight-lipped clairvoyant walk of shame.
Yeah. Bathsheba went to England.
Yeah.
It's all the same one.
Yeah, she went around
the
with that.
same demon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just traveling around.
Yep.
It's like she's got like British tourist stuff on. She's wearing like one of those dumbass fucking hats they got over there.
She tried a little beans on toast.
Yeah, and she's angry. She's angry.
Hated
now.
it.
Yeah, she hated it.
Fair.
Yeah. Bathsheba, we agree. That's a terrible meal choice.
Now ranch beans on toast.
Dude,
Just as bad.
should I make some ranch beans after this?
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Absolutely.
I haven't cooked in like a week and a half. It's a long time. In August of 1977, the first of the trilogy that is known as Star Wars was released. Little tie into the Star Wars joke I did earlier.
Janet Hodgson, only 11 years old at the time, would sit up in bed to watch the dresser slide across the floor. She shared the room with her brother, who woke to the sound. They shouted for their mother, Peggy. Later, Janet would recall the incident, saying that she was frightened, but also curious and intrigued. Peggy would not believe the children, thinking they were simply making up stories and trying to scare her. This was just an incident of bored kids trying to prank their mom.
And make up some fun. True. Because it is, I mean, they call it jolly old England, but it's not. That's the thing. It's like very dreary, especially in the 70s. Like what even happened in England? Post 1812, and even, I mean, really post the bombing of London, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. The Battle of Britain.
Yeah. Things really
a big
went downhill
Yeah.
for all of the United Kingdom. Yeah.
True.
And then in 85, they lost Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big blow.
Yeah. Because it was a shithole before. Now it's doing great.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
Don't care either. I'm just making shit up.
So these kids,
Janet and whatever the boy's
they're
name
just
was.
little pranksters.
They're little fucking rascals. Little YouTubers.
Yeah. We slid it across the floor and like, mommy, look, it moved.
It's magic. And also, the chair is vibrating and the bed is hovering. We just got back from the mall.
After this incident, the family heard knocking throughout the house, and Peggy thought maybe burglars were attempting to break in, or drifters were hiding somewhere in the home.
Drifters.
Prowlers. They're not drifters. They're called prowlers. You like how I just shot the prowler out with that voice?
Yeah.
Prowler. I don't know why that's like my go-to voice. Prowler.
It wasn't until a chest slammed against the door, locking Peggy out of the children's room, that she would become convinced that something far more nefarious was at work here. A neighbor, coming over at the request of Peggy, would become frightened after hearing knocking within the wall next to him, followed by the ceiling above him. This would become such a frequent occurrence, it would seem as though the Hodgsons would become desensitized, as shown in a clip recorded by investigators at the home.
Now read out that entire link.
HTTP. If you want to see the clip, go to https://www.historieshollywood.com/video/Janet and Margaret Hodgson interview /
These teenage sisters believe they're haunted by a poltergeist.
I was going to ask the same question as I asked earlier. How many voices are there?
600.
600 the voices.
I know the joke.
How many really are there, Margaret?
I think so far we've had 10
Three.
sensible voices, but the rest of the names are absolute rubbish.
Peggy would call the police to investigate, and while most ghost stories are experienced by the people living in the home, but as soon as they try to prove to others what they are experiencing, the entity haunting the home becomes dormant, this was not the case for the Hodgson family.
That seems so convenient.
Yeah,
it
it
really
does.
does. That's why I believe in a lot of this stuff, but not really.
Yeah, it's hard to believe in when like it's all just speak. It was like there was knocking in the walls and the ceiling, and then just it never happened when there was anybody else around. It only happens when I'm alone.
You're fucking schizophrenic is what that was happening.
Yeah.
All right? You crazy bastard.
And the officer that came in response to Peggy's calls, Carolyn Heaps, had a very interesting thing happen upon entering the home.
Something happened to her.
Her last name's Heaps.
Heaps, yeah. She got to heapy jeepies.
Yeah.
That's what I thought of. Heaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, heaps. How many of these people you think have mustaches?
All of them.
It's in Britain, yes. It's
Every single one.
it's like a mustachy kind of area.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get mustache vibes from a lot of these people.
All the women.
Peggy.
Peggy definitely. Peggy? Tom Selleck.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a milk mustache. Like she just drank chocolate milk
Yeah.
and then you just turn that into hair. If you understand, if you get what I'm saying.
I'm following.
Cool.
Picking up what you're putting down.
I feel like I maybe needed to explain it clearer.
Yeah.
Clearer than I did.
When she entered the home, she reportedly witnessed a chair rise off the ground and float across the floor on its own.
What?
This is a police officer.
Yeah, this is a real tenured officer of the law.
Did they have psyche valve back then? And in Britain?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Dreary old London. Enfield?
Yeah.
Dreary old Enfield. Where moist is a color.
So
Damp, right.
damp
Craig
is a
Ferguson
color.
bit.
Yeah. Damp is a color. So she walks in and chair just go up and whoop.
I assume it made that noise.
Yeah.
I hope.
And whoop.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. I like this.
This is different.
It's a good
This
story.
isn't just like hearsay. Mom says the.
Yeah, this is a police officer.
Yeah, this is a police officer saying this shit happened.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm an officer of the goddamn law, and you will listen to what I say, or you will feel the wrath of my baton because we do not have guns.
Bobbies.
They are called bobbies. That's so stupid. Bobbies. Ooh, the boobies chasing me. The boobie. That's so fucking dumb.
Despite this, the police would offer no assistance to the Hodgsons, ruling the case, quote, not a police matter.
It's a quote. I assume it was from a woman. I'm just assuming. I don't know.
So far, it's all been women.
Yeah.
Even reporters that would come to follow up on the claims made about the supernatural occurrences in the home would witness similar things. They would witness Legos flying around the room.
Like branded Legos? Like actual real Legos?
When were Legos invented?
The 70s? They had to have been, right?
Well, yeah.
Unless this whole story is just coming apart at the seams.
Huh.
You think them real Legos, you think them in blocks.
Them's is the
London
bricks. What are they called?
Yeah, what are they called? Roblox.
They would witness Legos flying around the room, and if touched, were practically scalding. Paranormal investigators would come in droves to see for themselves what was happening in the home, claiming to contact the restless spirits. Clothes that were neatly folded on tables would launch themselves into the air as if desperate to escape. Coins would fall from the air, seemingly out of nowhere.
Money ghost!
I think this is just the children.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. This could be like these are like little pranksters.
Yeah, little prankster kids and
Chillins.
Yeah, I mean they're just throwing Legos around. I can't explain why they're hot. Why were the Legos hot?
I want to say something, but I shouldn't.
How do you even heat a Lego? It'd melt.
True.
You can't get a Lego that hot.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Legos ain't known to be hot.
No.
Them's just cold toys.
Yeah, like clothes. It doesn't take long for my folded up, nice, clean clothes to get just fucking. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that other thing you said.
What was that? I forget. Back to the story.
Lights would flicker and reports of dogs barking could be heard from empty rooms. Furniture would even spin and tip over without the assistance of a person. Perhaps the most disturbing thing to happen would be when the iron fireplace on the second floor would rip itself out of the wall.
The fucking Kool-Aid Man just busted through the wall. Kool-Aid Man ghost.
You're telling me the fireplace just fell
Yeah, busted out of the wall.
out of the wall?
That's a Bathsheba moment.
Yeah,
If I've ever heard of one.
absolutely.
I've heard of many.
I've heard of many Bathshebas.
Yeah, fuck Bathsheba.
Well,
Not literally.
no, I hear she's got tight lips. So
Who said that?
you did.
Shit.
The family began to sleep in the same room with the light on just to feel safe. Almost every paranormal investigator that would come left, claiming that the things that were seen and done were faked or simply weren't true. The only ones that would stay with the family would be the Warrens.
This is like not good for the Warrens' image of like reality, though.
Yes.
And honestly, if
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
else is like, that's bullshit.
Yeah. If
And the
everybody
Warrens
else
like,
is
no,
saying it's BS.
we could make a movie about this.
Exactly.
Do you think this is real? Just say it.
No.
Me neither. I think it's like little, I almost said ghosts.
Yeah. I think it's good.
I think
don't
it's
think it's
children.
real. I think it's bad shit.
I don't think it's fucking real. It's that bitch Bathsheba. She's real as fuck.
Now, if you've seen the movie, then you may remember that at this point the Warrens were in the hot seat, being subject to doubt and skepticism after being accused of faking hauntings or unnecessarily upgrading normal hauntings to demon possession cases. The Warrens would stand by their previous cases and investigations, just like they would stand by the Hodgsons when no one else would. Of course, in the film, they had to dramatize some elements to up the ante for cinematic impact. In the film, dozens of crosses hanging on the walls would turn on their own until they were upside down. This never happened in the actual events of the Enfield home. After all, the upside down cross in reality isn't normally used as a symbol of evil.
What is it used for?
I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I don't know shit about upside down crosses. I think they nailed that one guy to that one.
Yeah, but that one was
Jeebus?
upside right. That one wasn't
Yeah, that's
upside
true.
down. What's it mean when you flip one over?
And we're at a party.
I always thought it was bad.
Me
It's not
too. I
bad?
thought it was evil.
It's not
Yeah.
evil?
Maybe it's like a pineapple thing, like a upside down pineapple. Like instead
Means
of
you're a
believing, no, not exactly. Instead of believing in God and like praising Jesus, you want to fuck strangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a swinger.
yeah. Basically.
St. Peter was crucified upside down because he believed himself unworthy to be crucified the same way as Jesus.
Oh, okay. So it's just like humility and that's interesting. Somebody give me an upside down cross.
So I feel like all my life have been lied to over this.
Yeah, I feel like no one specifically told me, but I've always seen or heard
Like-
indirectly that's evil.
I feel like if grandmother saw me wearing like an upside down cross,
She'd go, oh!
she'd do that and then she'd beat the fuck out of me.
Yeah, true.
But no, I'd be like, I'm just trying to be like old St. Peter. Grandma.
Grandma, I'm just I have humility.
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect
I'm not
for
as
the Lord.
good as old Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Another example of the film's exaggeration of events was Janet being lifted and pinned to the ceiling.
You're telling me that didn't happen?
The most compelling piece of evidence, it didn't happen. Not real.
Real photographs taken by Daily Mirror photographer Graham Morris show Janet only a few feet above the bed, and when shown in sequence, many believe she simply jumped off the bed.
So the dude took pictures of her?
Yeah.
Levitating? And she just looked like she jumped.
Yeah.
What?
I imagine like her feet are up sideways. She's just-
yeah. Ooh, there's a ghost.
Yeah.
There's a ghost. I'm levitating.
Yeah.
Take a still image of that.
Yeah.
Regarding the levitations that may have occurred, Janet was quoted saying, quote, "The levitation was scary because you didn't know where you were going to land."
Well, yeah, I guess ghosts can't affect gravity.
Yeah.
They'll lift you up, but then as soon as they let you down, you just fucking fall down.
You don't know where you're gonna land. You're just gonna go like
Down. If you're
Down.
here, I'll tell you where you're gonna land.
Yep.
Yeah, unless Bathsheba has something to do with it.
Bathsheba has something. She might throw you across the room.
Throw you across the room out the window down 50 flights of stairs into the River Thames. All right,
Yep.
Thames.
And then you'll magically be butt naked and running out of there.
butt naked like that one guy from the first story.
The spirits in the movie made it appear there was a victimized spirit by the name of Bill Wilkins that was being suppressed by the nun poltergeist that would have its own spin-off film in 2018. Bill Wilkins was the name of a spirit the Hodgsons would interact with, though not as passive as the film would lead you to believe.
Bill Wilkins was a goddamn gang member in the Vanderlyn gang.
True.
Bill Williamson.
Yeah, Bill Williamson. Bill Wilkinson.
Bill Wilkins would speak through Janet, and the recording of the conversation had with Bill, who was inhabiting Janet at the time, was played during the credits of the second Conjuring film. You can also hear Bill speaking in the interview in which the knocking was captured. Upon further research, Bill Wilkins was actually the name of an older gentleman who had passed away in the living room of the home.
Now I'm looking at Jen. Those nights.
Old man died in home. Old man haunt home. Old man take control of child. Speak
through child.
Speak through child.
What's that
say
sound
things
like?
"Where's my Tums?
Yeah, but as a little child,
Get
little
me my
girl
bingo.
named Janet.
Is tonight musical bingo?"
Musical bingo.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. Let's play Duck Duck Go. I don't fucking know, dude. Where's my Geritol? My heart's beating.
Yeah,
My dick hasn't worked in 30 years.
I'm trying to.
Said the 9-year-old girl, Janet.
I'm trying to imagine just Bill Williamson. I really want to say Williamson.
Yeah, Bill Wilkins.
Wilkins just speaking through this little girl, and it's not working. Yeah.
Put a clip. I'm sure there's a clip out there.
There's got to be a clip.
Yeah, they literally said that there was.
They said there was.
Fucking liars.
These teenage sisters believe they're haunted by a poltergeist.
How many voices are there?
600.
While Bill was speaking through Janet, one alleged quote of the spirit describes his death saying, "Just before I died, I went blind. And then I had a hemorrhage. And then I fell asleep, and I died in the chair in the corner downstairs."
She said this.
She said this while channeling him as an old
Bill
man.
said this through her.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like this is he's kind of like there ain't nothing bad with this guy.
Yeah, he's just saying, "I died. My head was full of tumors.
I died.
I died. My head was full of tumors. Packed full of tumors."
It's not like the last one where it's like, oh yes, multiple people died in the attic.
People were just fucking hanging
Yeah,
themselves.
hanging themselves in attics, murders, creek drownings.
Yeah. Potential
Bathsheba's tight lips.
slave ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is not good.
There was, and still is, skepticism surrounding the authenticity of these voices that would speak through Janet, as they seemingly manifested conveniently only when they were looking for them.
So it's perfectly.
Yeah.
It's like makes perfect sense.
Yeah, if only they would talk to us. And then little girl just starts going off rambling.
I am old, but I'm a little girl.
Yeah.
I'm being taken over by an old man, Clint.
Oh no, but if only he would speak to us so I could believe you. It's real.
I have a Facebook account with no profile picture.
That's good.
I don't know how to use Messenger. I clicked a porn link and then DM'd all 180 of my friends on Facebook.
In an interview later, Janet would say that it didn't seem like the spirit was evil, more so, it seemed like it wanted to be a part of the family. They had died in the home and wanted to be at peace. They never wanted to hurt the children or Peggy. Using the sisters as a vessel was the only way they had to communicate.
I'm on their side.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm on their side.
This just he never had grandkids.
Yeah, he never had
I
grandkids.
assume, and he just wanted to hang out, play with them. That's why he pushed that dresser around. That's why he lifted that chair up in front of the cop.
That's why he
made
pinned
the
Janet
Legos.
to the ceiling. And then spoke through her.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
normal grandpa activities.
Fucking Simba shit.
The children would have a troubled childhood, even after activity in the house ceased. They would be bullied in school, with Janet being called Ghost Girl and having bugs poured down her back. Her younger brother Billy received similar treatment. Perhaps all of this could have been avoided had the girls not played with an old Ouija board, which they did before any of the supernatural events occurred.
Of fucking course they played with the fucking Ouija fucking board.
So it's their fault.
Yeah.
It's all their fault.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
This is all on them.
Yeah, it's
This
bullshit.
is so old grandpa was peaceful and just fucking dead
Yeah.
until they awoke him.
Yeah, they awoke him
And that's why he fucking pinned her to the ceiling.
from his old man slumber.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He was just sleeping peacefully dead, and then they fucking
Put the mirror under the nose to see if the steam,
yeah. And then he's like, "You fucking woke me up," and just sent her up there flying,
yes.
pinned her to the ceiling,
And then
made
ate
the
a
Legos
sandwich.
hot.
And then ate a sandwich right after, a ham sandwich. You ever heard an old person eat a ham sandwich?
Oh, it's great.
It's
Yeah.
And they try to eat, they have to keep breathing. They get winded when they eat.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ham gets stuck to the roof of their mouth.
Yeah. That's happened to me.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, ham and bologna.
Bologna's real bad about it.
With mustard? Mm-hmm. Dude, I want a fucking bologna sandwich.
I love bologna.
I'm getting hungry for the weird shit right now talking
Bologna's
about these
good.
demons. We should
Bologna's
get some
good.
bologna.
We should. Do you like fried bologna?
I've never had fried bologna.
Interesting.
I've had fried like ham.
Yeah.
I assume it's kind of similar.
Fried bologna, substantially better than normal, just like out of the fridge bologna.
Really?
Yeah. And it's really fun to make because it flops around a lot.
This case still circulates so much doubt and skepticism, despite the captured recordings and corroboration from neighbors, police, and investigators, because of the girls being caught bending spoons on their own, and no one being allowed in the room with Janet while speaking with Bill Wilkins. But the movie would explain this as being pressured by the malevolent spirits to convince people of the hoax only to protect their family.
Wait.
So she spoke in the voice of Bill Wilkins, but it wasn't...
Nobody's in the room with her? She had to be in the room alone, and they're like outside eavesdropping.
Yeah, eavesdropping, little girl in there, you just hear
Bill.
Oh, man. I'm eating sardines.
It's just a little girl doing an old man voice poorly, and they're like, "Oh, that's him.
Yeah,
that's him.
That's good. That sounds really good. She's good at that."
The movie would explain this as being pressured by the malevolent spirits to convince people of the hoax only to protect their family. And while we're on the subject of protecting their family, Janet, upon hearing that the events surrounding her time in the Enfield home was being made into a film, she was not pleased. Her father had recently died when she received the news, and being 45 at the time of its release in 2016, did not want her life raked through again, after years of not having to relive what had happened. Janet and her siblings wouldn't talk too much on the matter until their mother Peggy died, at which time Janet would be ready to do interviews and tell her story. After Peggy had died and the Hodgsons had moved on, Claire Bennett and her 4 sons would move into the home, not knowing its haunted history. The Bennett family would only live in the house for 2 months, as Claire would feel as though she was being watched, and her sons would wake up in the middle of the night because they could hear voices coming from downstairs.
Okay, it's Bill.
Yeah,
he's there.
It's Bill. Okay.
He's there.
I take back everything I said. It's real.
It's real, yeah. Yeah, that seems pretty convincing.
Yeah, that sold it very well.
Yeah, because it's not, and even so, the ghost thing. I mean, people say that it's like an interdimensional, like there's potentially a scientific explanation. It isn't necessarily ghosts like, ooh, I'm a ghost. It could be like as logical as time travel.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
With string theory and all the dynamics of astrology. I'm a Gemini. Just kidding. Fuck off.
The final straw came when Claire's son, Shaka, only 15, saw a man enter their room. The very next day, they would leave, never to return.
What? Saw a man
That's
enter?
it.
That's it? Shaka.
He entered, but that was it. He didn't. What did he do after he entered the room?
He just came in and wouldn't leave.
Yeah. He just stood there.
And in Britain, they have laws protecting squatters.
That's true.
They're pieces of shit.
Pieces of shit.
In the hauntings of the Perrons and the Hodgsons, the families were the victims of a power beyond their understanding. The third Conjuring film, however, follows the possession of Arnie Johnson, who would become the first person to attempt to prove his innocence based on demonic possession.
So what was he proved it? He was actually proven innocent? Because of a demon? In a court of law? A jury was there? And a judge said, yeah, this guy had a demon, so fuck him. Or whatever.
It was Bathsheba.
How does that work? How do they get in? Do they fuck you? You think? I feel like they fuck you. While you're sleeping and they're just like,
yeah.
Let me inside.
Let me inside you.
Or like like Men in Black, that little tiny guy controlling the one dude, the little
guy. Yeah.
Maybe they just get up in your brain like that. Like Ratatouille.
Ooh, they're just in your hair, pulling you around.
They're in your head, just pulling on your hair. So what was he proven innocent of doing? Arnie Johnson? He was actually proven innocent? I can't believe that. That's crazy.
That's absurd.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous.
The most recent film in the Conjuring trilogy, subtitled The Devil Made Me Do It, is perhaps the most Hollywood of them all, taking the little substance of the actual events and padding them with occult influence.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the more You got a trilogy now.
Yeah. You gotta step it up.
Yeah,
You gotta
absolutely.
step it up.
In the very early 1980s, an 11-year-old boy by the name of David Glatzel
Bullshit. Nobody's
Yeah.
named that.
would be possessed by the forces beyond the mortal realm. In the film, they of course make some adjustments to better fit a flowing narrative, saying that there's an occult charm that allows a demon to take possession of individuals. But in the true story, the Warrens claim that not one, but 43 demons were living in David.
What?
Hey, let's just make up a number and say that's how many demons are in this kid.
43.
He has ADHD and they said 43 demons were in him.
Yeah.
Give him Ritalin instead.
Hearing that makes me believe less and less in the Warrens.
They seem like bullshit artists.
Absolutely.
43? That's like a
43?
small Mexican family.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's absurd. That's what is it? He's not a clown car.
He's the clown car
Yeah.
of the possessed.
Yeah.
43.
43.
There's no room in him.
No, not at all.
You couldn't fit 44. He'd have a fucking blowout.
Yeah.
He'd prolapse.
That's absurd.
yeah.
This is bullshit.
That's bullshit.
In the film, during an exorcism, the possessing demon would be invited by Arn to take control to free David and would manifest later in the form of Arn's murder of his landlord, Alan Bono, named Bruno Sauls in the movie, was the landlord and was killed by Arn Johnson. Whether the 43 demons that lived in David were transferred to Arn, leading to the actions he would take, is hotly debated. There is a recording of David during his exorcism performed by 6 Catholic priests.
Sounds like the beginning of a joke.
It does.
An 11-year-old
Six-
boy with 43 demons inside of him walks into a room with 6 Catholic priests. All right?
How do you find, like, if let's say you thought I was possessed, and you're
I'd take a bat to you. While you're sleeping. I wouldn't even call the priest.
that was quick. I take a bat to you.
I don't even have a bat.
Yeah. How does that conversation happen? It's like you call up the church, the Catholic church, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll get 6 of them down there right
Yeah.
away.
Donnie, Terry, Larry, Bono, Jackie.
You said there's 43? Yeah, we'll get all 6 of our priests.
Yeah.
They'll take care of it.
Yeah. You got a bat?
Ed and Lorraine would consult on Arn's trial, as it was the first time in history that someone would claim innocence because of demonic possession. Perhaps this claim would otherwise be enough to prove an insanity plea. The movie had to Hollywood the scene of the actual murder because Arn would not have any memory of his actions. Whatever was going on with them would detach him from reality. He was obviously a troubled person, whether you believed that he was possessed or otherwise. Demonic possession being an before unseen legal defense somewhat succeeded but also failed. In November of 1981, Arn would be sentenced to 10 to 20 years for manslaughter, not murder.
So that's indirect. That's how, like, if you crash into someone on the car.
Yeah.
If you can do a wreck, that's manslaughter.
Yep.
Right. It's not
Yeah.
first or
you
third degree
shoot a
murder.
man, it's murder.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
If you shoot someone
I
and
like
you
both of
planned it, then it's first degree murder.
Yeah.
Second degree is like you plan on murdering someone but not someone specific.
Yes.
And then third degree murder is accidentally actually murdering someone.
Yes.
So like if we were to, let's say, fight and then you were to stab me and kill me dead.
Yeah.
Or let's say you were possessed and I took a bat to you.
Yeah.
Well, no, because I'd be murdering you. And I wouldn't be able to say I was possessed.
Yeah.
So that'd be murder.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He would only serve 5 of those years, and would get married during those 5 years to the older sister of David Glatzel, Debbie Glatzel.
Before the film was even conceptualized, Ed and Lorraine,
weird.
that is really
That's a little
really
weird.
Yeah, so he sucked a demon out of the little boy and then fucked his older sister,
That's
working his way up the family tree.
very strange.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yep.
Ed and Lorraine would tell the story to Gerald Brittle, who would write a book about the events titled The Devil in Connecticut. One member of the Glatzel family would contest all of the claims made by the Warrens, saying that they had fabricated the events in a plot to gain wealth and fame at the expense of the family.
True.
Yeah.
Honestly, true. Yeah. You think Ed and Lorraine are still alive? They might come beat the shit out of us for saying this.
With bats?
No, we're not possessed. Yeah. That's like a bat. That's like a possession thing. A holy bat.
Carl Glatzel, who made these claims, said that the Warrens told them that they would become millionaires, and that the funds and intention raised by the book would assist the freeing of Arn from his imprisonment.
This does not look good.
Money. There's money involved.
Mr. Krabs.
There's money.
Mr. Krabs, aka Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yes.
When faced with this accusation, Ed and Lorraine would stand by their findings, saying that it wasn't just their claims that were evidence of the possession, as the Catholic Church had been involved every step of the way and had a lot of detailed documentation regarding Arn's case. Gerald Brittle would also stand by the truth of his book, saying that on top of having first-hand accounts from the Warrens, that interviewed several members of the Glatzel family for a combined total of over 100 hours. Perhaps it was the fact that Carl was so outspoken of the book, and that is why they excluded him from the film. Imagine being excluded from a movie about your family because you speak out in contradiction of the reported possession/haunting.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's pretty suspicious.
Yes.
That's pretty bizarre. That's pretty weird. It's a bit queer, the ancient usage of that word.
Yeah.
You can't really use that. It literally means weird or strange.
Yes.
Or like uncertain or unseemly.
That's a bit queer.
That's a bit queer. Peculiar. Queer, see? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, this one's a bit fishy.
Yeah, this one's a bit
Anytime there's a lot of money.
If you choose to believe that Arn was possessed when he murdered Alan Bono, you may feel more comfortable with the fact that he's reintegrated into society, being that he wasn't the perpetrator of the killing. Though you accept the fact that there are spirits that exist beyond our sight that can influence our bodies and minds, which could be a scarier world to live in than just knowing that some people are just bad and don't need to be possessed to do horrible things to their neighbors.
I think he's just crazy as shit, and he murdered a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Well, one guy, Alan Bono. It's a shame he didn't kill Bono, the lead singer of U2. That would have been bigger news.
Yeah, I would have heard about this.
That would have been quite a headline.
Absolutely.
Bono, murdered by crazed, demonic possessed man. Guy had 42 demons in his head.
There are whisperings of a possible fourth Conjuring movie to come surrounding the satanic panic of the 1980s, in which period police departments were working closely with mediums, clairvoyants, and psychics. Lorraine Warren would even work with several departments during this period, so perhaps a movie detailing one of the more chilling investigations during this period could come in the future. The Warrens were active until the passing of Ed in 2006, and Lorraine would pass in 2019 at the age of 92.
Okay, good. So there's no we don't fear vindication.
Yeah.
What about their spirits though? You think they're ghosts now? They've got to be. That'd be ironic.
And
that'd be ironic.
They would be damn good ones.
Yeah, they'd be really good.
Absolutely.
They'd
That's
probably be here
terrifying.
now. Yeah.
What was that?
Was it Cheyenne?
Hello?
Oh, those are light switches flicking. Okay, yeah. You look scared. We're talking about Ed? Lorraine? You there? That's pretty funny though.
Yeah.
That's actually ironic.
What timing?
Yeah, that's fucking perfect.
They have decades of cases that screenwriters could pore over for inspiration for future movies, and for us, future episodes. The Warrens were active in the Amityville horror haunting, which alone has 2 movies made about it.
I watched that movie when I was a kid because I didn't know what it was, and I was so scared. And I didn't turn it off for some reason, but I would hide under my blanket, turn away. I would do that really.
I like that move.
Yeah. And I would also get sick when I was a kid. I would
Because of this?
stomach cramps?
Yeah.
You ever have those? Not a lot.
Yeah.
Every single night for 3 years I had stomach cramps because I would work myself into a fit of and I'd have to sleep on a cold floor for some reason, and I'd have to have the fan on, and also I would have to watch Mythbusters. I had something wrong
That cured
with me.
you.
It didn't. Yeah. It helped me focus on something other than just my stomach hurting and
Fair. Maybe it's a similar mystery illness like they mentioned earlier.
You saying I'm possessed?
I'll get you back.
I got 69 demons in my head, motherfucker.
The conversation will not end just over these stories. While some may believe that the events at the Perrin family home and the blatant activity experienced by the Hodgsons prove beyond any doubt that there is something on the other side, skeptics will always have a reasonable explanation for what happens in the dark.
Do our friends who write this, Duncan and Satchel, realize that we are skeptics? To a T?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's written as if yes, we believe in this.
Yes.
But I don't really. I think Satchel's the one who really believes.
Absolutely.
He definitely believes in
Yeah,
that shit.
at 100%.
Yeah, Satchel, he believes
He's
in it.
into it.
He's really into it.
For instance, having a movie made, books written, and countless interviews about their story, the families mentioned have seen profit from their experiences. This alone is enough to cast doubt on one's ability to believe the truth of it when it has been so profitable. Then, when the Heinzen purchased the home, they profited by renting rooms and turning the home into its own business. They're also selling the home for nearly 3 times as much as they purchased it for.
Which is $439,000. Yeah, so they're selling it for $1.2 million. They bought it for $400K. That's pretty good. They're scumbags.
Yeah.
Literal douches.
The Hodgsons have done interviews and obtained some level of fame following the success of the film. You can read the book, This House is Haunted.
What a fucking weird name for a book. This house, which house?
Yeah.
My house? It is. We exclaim as we yell at a cloud.
Yeah.
Ah!
Which is also a detailed dive into the Enfield haunting, which continues to astound people because of its blatant activity witnessed by many. Anything that seems beyond belief will have those on both sides clinging to any reason to justify why they are right, even if proof may suggest otherwise. Whether these families were cursed, or just fell victim to misfortune's cruel hand is up for debate, but it is almost certain that therein lies an eerie mystery, being truly worthy of the attention, stories, and movies they received. It remains as one of the most terrifying ghost stories translated from true stories to modern cinema.
And then there's a bunch of really weird pictures of everybody. She looks like Bathsheba.
Yeah, I wish we had, okay, these ones actually say who they are.
There's Janet.
Oh! She looks fucking British.
That's so mean.
Well,
I said, oh! And you said, she looks fucking British. Look at how British these people look. Look at that
there's
old
Peggy.
lady. Hello! There's a
that's-
fucking ghost in me wall.
that's Lorraine.
Oh, that's Lorraine. She's got quite a forehead.
And there's Ed.
Ed looks like my grandfather.
That looks like an actor.
Yeah, that's the,
Okay, that is.
yeah, these are the actors.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. I understand.
Looks like,
I was
that guy's handsome as fuck.
I'm pretty sure I know that guy. He's
Yeah.
from Norfolk.
He's awesome. Patrick Wilson, he's really funny.
Is he?
Yeah, there's a lot of like clips of him being fucking funny. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Spooky Skeletons podcast. Leave a suggestion down below of what you want to see in a potential future episode. All right, we just did the Conjuring stories. We've done the Wendigo. We've done Bigfoot. I love this. I really want to do more. The goal is to do them eventually weekly, but they require a ton of effort and editing, and we don't have the time to do all of it on a very consistent basis. We will very soon, though. So support us. Buy the merch. We don't really have anything to sell right now. But if you're on YouTube, go to the Spotify. If you're on Spotify, go to the YouTube. Check each out. It doesn't matter. Whatever. So which story do you think is the creepiest? Which story did you think is creepiest? I think the first one is.
The first one's by
one's
far
terrifying.
the creepiest.
Yeah, that one's terrifying.
And the most compelling.
Yeah. Arnie's just like a dude who claims demonic possession instead of insanity. And 42 demons, 43 in the head.
Yeah, as soon
maybe.
as-
6 Catholic priests, 11-year-old boy.
Yeah, as soon as you start throwing not 1, not 2, not 10, but 43.
43. Yeah, that's
I'm out.
fucking bullshit, dude.
I'm out. That didn't happen. And the other one is England. That didn't happen.
Yeah, but like, if you said how many demons you got, I would say like 43 as a joke.
43, at least.
I got 99
Where do they
problems,
get
but a
that number
bitch ain't
from?
one. I'm assuming they just pulled it right out of their fucking asses.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which do you guys think is the creepiest and the most compelling story?
I feel like it's
believe
by far the first one.
Yeah, that one's
because
good. Bathsheba.
We got a name.
Tight lips.
We got her tight lips. We got her name. We got hangings in the orgial. Is that a thing? Is that the orgial?
Orgial hangings.
Orgial hangings.
What would the word for that be? Would it be orgial? Promiscuous hangings? Fuck hangings? Just fucking up there in the attic?
Yeah.
Hanging each other?
Multiple people hanging themselves together.
Not for fun either.
Yeah, not just like, let's go have a good time. You know what would be funny? Let's go hang ourselves in the attic. All the kids are doing it these days.
Apparently there's no long-lasting effects either.
Yeah, by far the first one.
Yeah.
I feel like the second and definitely the third is them just trying to suck it dry of
sure.
movies.
For sure. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching the 3rd episode of the Spooky Skeletons podcast. I'm your host, Caleb. I'm Caleb. And this is your other host, Clint. And yeah, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, everywhere you listen to podcasts. I'll have my Twitter down below, his Twitter down below, only on YouTube because I don't know how to put links on Spotify. So if you're listening to this in your car, I'm sorry. And also, Sugma, Ligma, Eatma, Fugma. Just kidding, I love you guys, thank you. We'd like to make this a more consistent thing, by the way.
Absolutely. It's my favorite thing we do all week.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking awesome.